All right. Hello. Welcome to the session 2 on PowerPoint. I am Reese and I am your orientation peer navigator. I am going to start this session off to talk to you about templates and the appropriate use of templates, as well as formatting and structure of your presentation as how it correlates to a college assignment. So let's get started. So we have the home tab, we have the new, we have the recents, shared, and open. So let's kind of take a look at all of this. New. So on the new tab, you should have the ability to check out different themes. And this is a nice way to kind of shortcut and skirt around having to come up with the design for your presentation. But how do you decide which one you want to use? Well, what I personally look for is something that is not too busy, depending on the assignment. And I try to find something that is interesting to look at. So maybe a little pop of color. However, you want it to remain professional. You want it to be professional. I'm going to say it again. You want it to be professional. You don't want it to look like a party invitation. You don't want it to, look like you're making a card. You want it to look like something you are going to take to a board meeting. So let's go with this one. I think this one looks all right. Let's go. Well, first of all, blank is a no-no. Blank is boring. You want it to be interesting. Essentially, you are telling a story. And if you think about a story, it has illustration for the most part. Not all, but that's what we're doing here. We're creating like an illustration for a story that you are telling about the course material. So that being said, we want to look at what would best illustrate the topic that you are discussing. So if you are discussing electronics or cybersecurity, I would go with this one. And let's see here. I like green. Uh, it has been scientifically proven that green lowers your blood pressure. So that's nice. Uh, just a little psychology there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with this theme for now. So here we go. We're gonna go with that. Something that you may or may not know is you can change the color scheme. How do you do that? Well, we go to design. We can go with the green. We can go with red. We can go with black. We can even go over here in the design and it will give you more choices. However, I mean, this one's pretty cool. I kind of like that. That's pretty interesting. However, I think we're just going to stick with this right here because, well, it doesn't pull my attention away from the text that we are going to be adding. Something like, say, this, it's cute and all, and it's pretty. It's a nice pop of color. However, it is now the focus of the slide. And any information or text that you put on there is going to get lost in translation. So we're going to stick with this. It's plain, it's interesting. I like the color. And all you got to do is put the topic of your paper. This is going to be your title page. Now, think of your slides and your presentation just like you would think about your paper. Every paper needs to have a title page. So, what are you going to title your paper? So, we're going to say week 4, assignment 4. I know I'm going to hammer that. So, neuroplasticity. So I think I need to take this and we're going to go to home and we are going to hit the paragraph. We're going to hit center and cool. But what I think I want to do is I want to raise it up a hair. I like that better. And I think I want this to be a different color. What color do I want it? So let's go to font. Hmm, what's a good color scheme for that that won't get lost? Let's do this. Week 4, assignment 4, what is neuroplasticity? And so then I am going to type my name. What department am I from? I'm a psychology major, so Department of Psychology, National University, and then professor's name. Oh no, it's going to be course code, name of course, and let's see, then it would be, I'm going to bring this down, then it would be your professor's name, and they're probably a doctor. They probably have a doctorate. So then we're gonna put the due date. So that is how that would go. And I am also going to put it like that. So when we go to the slideshow, this is what it's going to look like. We can always make this smaller. Hit escape to get out of that. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to go to paragraph and tighten that up a little bit. And yeah, line spacing. All right, that's good. So that's what we're gonna do there. Go back to slideshow, play from start, and that is my title page. All right, so you can tweak it however you like. You can take this and say maybe you don't like the color. Now that you're doing your thing, you're thinking, I don't really like the color. So you can go back in and you can change it. You know, maybe you want to lighten it up. Maybe you want to darken it. I don't know. Let's hit bold. See what happens. There we go. So I personally think that's a little light. I don't like it. It needs to be something that is easily visible. So maybe something like that. I think that is better because you can see it better. So then we're going to go ahead and hit new slide. We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of that. So now think about this. This is now your introduction page. So think about what you wrote in your paper because you should have written an actual paper. Your introduction would then be pasted in the notes section of the paper that you wrote. You would go ahead and paste it right here. So let me show you what I have here. Let's go to my course, week 4, assignment, final, and let's just go ahead and open this up. So what I would do is I would go down here and I would take this information, I would copy it. All right, I need to get this out of my way. And then I would paste it here. That's where that goes. Okay. That's my introduction right there. Now, what would I do here? Well, what I would do is I would go back to my paper and I would take this information right here and I would go here, open up a insert a chat box. Nope. You know you have a successfully, see how it has the A? So you know you have the text box. I'm going to put it there and there we go. See, now that's too small. So we're going to go in here, going to go in here, and I'm going to hit, let's do 50. See what that looks like. Nope, too big. So we'll go 40. Still too big. So what I might consider doing, I might just go ahead and get rid of that. It makes more sense. Anyway, you'll have to play with it. You may consider doing 2 text boxes, which is what I think I'm gonna do, so that way I can line this up better. And take this, bring it over, and then I can drag it here, more center, and then I will get another text box, and I will drag this, and I will put it there, highlight it, and bring it to 40, and then we will do that. Okay, so that looks good. We're going to go ahead and move on. And now we need to discuss the different things that we are going to discuss throughout the paper and do it in a bullet point form. So here's the thing. Just doing a bullet point and then typing it out is so boring. When you are telling a story, it needs to be interesting and it needs to be engaging. And the way we can do that is because we're not always actually, presenting it. So what we'll do is we will go to insert and you can do something like this. Lists. Here are your boxes that you can add. It's kind of nice. So you can put like your points. If it's something that it can coincides with something or like it leads to something like neuroplasticity or whatever, just you could use the cycle, like if you're talking about Maslow's 5 hierarchical needs, you could use this, but it needs to correlate obviously with your paper and what it's about. So like you can talk about this as a bullet point because that's one of the topics. So let's go ahead and go back in here. Let's do lists. I think lists are a good way to go about it. And ooh, pyramids. Pyramid is cool. But just take the time to take a look at all of these different ways of showing things and how it works and how you can show how things correlate. And so we're going to go here. I think we're going to, yeah, here. And what do I want to do? I think we're just going to keep it simple. So we're going to go here and we're going to type that. And then I'm going to go back to my paper. And I'm going to take this heading and we're going to put it here. And then we're going to go back to the paper and find the next heading. And we're going to put it here. Okay, we're just going to use this as an example. So obviously we're going to have more sections Each one is going to be representative of a paragraph because we're going to be discussing all of this throughout the paper, and your introduction should do a good job of explaining what it is that you're going to be discussing in your paper. And down here is where you would put your paragraph so that your instructor can read your paper. But you are just essentially giving a visual aid to assist with what it is that your paper is discussing. So, all right, we're going to go to the next slide, new slide. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. We're going to go in here and do this. So now we're going to go back to, all right, this was that. So here's the first slide, and it's going to be right here. Think of it like this. You should have 3 paragraphs for the body. The one paragraph is your introduction. Then you have 3 paragraphs for the body of your paper, and then your conclusion. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to insert a chat box or text. And we're going to paste that. And we're going to make this, okay, we did 40 point. And I want it to be New Times Roman. And we're going to do 40. And make sure it is centered. Yep, there we go. And then we're going to add some, go to insert. We're going to do, let's do something like, what do I want to do? Smart art. So you can be creative. I mean, it really just depends on what it is that you're trying to discuss in your paper. So, however many points it is in your paper. Oh yeah, we need to go over here and take this section and highlight it, copy, and paste it here. Okay, so now I have my paragraph here, and each of these sections, we got 1, 2, 3. So we have about 3 paragraphs for this particular section. So that means we only need to have 3 bullet points that lightly touch on each of these topics. So we'll say, so you're just going to go ahead, and I would take this and maybe nah. Let's do something different. Let's make it more appealing. What do we have here? What do we have here? Stock images. All right. Let's we can choose something in here. I like the brain. I typically stick with this, and then you go to the bottom and you insert. And I'm probably going to, if you notice on the side with the design, you can uh, mix it up. So I think I'm going to choose this. I kind of like that. Only thing is I don't like the color. So I'm going to go back to the top here, and in the insert, let me see, is it in home? In drawing, I am going to do the fill to more of a, nope. I think I want to kind of go with a green. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then we're going to go back to insert, and then we're going to use the smart chart lists, and yeah, let's do this. Let's see what that looks like. We're going to go ahead and move that over. Probably need to make it smaller. No, exit undo. I need to move that around. And there we go. All right. So there we go. Now we have the ability to start discussing the different items in here, except for now we don't have a title. You always want to kind of have a little bit of a title going on. So let's go ahead and move this down so that we can insert a chat text box, and we can add our heading. Okay, so what is the heading? It was this. I don't know why it took it off, but it did. So whatever. We're going to go ahead and add that back. We're going to highlight it and choose 40 because that's what I already chose as the size for headings. So I think I'm going to bring it down. I kind of want that to fit right there so it kind of works. So this is just to kind of give you an idea. I'm not going to really take my whole paper and add all the points in here. I'm just kind of demonstrating. You'll just take the points of your paper and add it here. So now when we go to the slideshow, play from start, this is what it's going to look like. This is the second slide. I'd probably make these bigger or drop them down, but you know, we're just going through it. And here we go. I'd probably shore this up a little bit, make the sizing line up with this down here, but you know, just kind of giving you an idea. And now we just need to continue on. So that's kind of how it goes. And let's say you have a video that you want to add to your slide. Well, how do you do that? How do you find a video that you can add some substance to your paper? Well, okay, we can do that. We can add a short little video. So let's go back to insert. We can do new slide. And then let me get rid of this and get rid of that. And here we have media. Now, you can add audio or you can add video. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to ditch this because we're going to find a video. So let's go to, I'm going to get rid of this because I'm done displaying the paper. And we'll get rid of my Zoom thing here. And I will go to online. We'll figure it out. Right here. And we'll go to YouTube. And for the sake of argument, we're just going to use this one. I'm going to take this, copy that information there. I'm going to minimize this. And then I'm going to go back here, insert. We're going to go to the media. We're going to add video and this out of my way, movie, online movie. We're going to add this, insert. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make this bigger. Oh, too big. I'm going to make sure it fits on the page. There we go. And now we have the ability to play a movie in our slide. It's as simple as that. So now what does that look like when we go to the actual slideshow? So let's go to slideshow view, play from current slide. And now we have a video. Okay, so we are going to get out of that and we need to add a title. So here is your title. Title for your slide. You want to try and at least, I don't know, you can play with it. You can put it wherever you want. You don't have to have it center. You can have it up here or you can have it up here. I would keep it up on the top somewhere, but you know, you can have it somewhere over here. It doesn't need to be in the middle. Make it kind of interesting. You can change the color. You can change the font. So you can do that too. Let's see. So let's make another slide. Insert, new slide. We're going to do blank. All right, so how do I add audio? You can record it or you can add it from the browser, but I'm going to say, let's say you want to narrate. I am going to narrate what this page is about, and when I click on the slide in presenting mode, it will automatically start this audio feed. Insert. Okay, so we're going to go here and we're going to go to the slideshow and we're going to start from current slide. Oh, I started from beginning. So now we have the video. I am going to narrate what this page is about, and when I click on the slide in presenting mode, it will automatically start this audio feed. Okay, so as you can see, you now have an understanding of how to add audio. You can add video. And let's see here. Let me get out of that and come into here. And I think I'm going to stop it right here for now. Just remember that, you want to have a slide for each paragraph, maybe even 2 slides, depending on how long that section is. Like this is pretty short. So this right here could be 1 slide. However, this one right here has 3 different things going on, and it may be too much for 1 slide. Maybe this is too big. You can play with it and figure it out. But every paragraph should essentially have their own slide. And then at the end, we're going to insert 1 more slide. At the end, you should have your reference page. So I guess I should have kept my thing open just 1 last time. Let me open this up, open this. We're going to go to the very end to the reference page. Aha. So on the very end, you're going to have your references. That should be the very last slide. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this. And we're going to go in here and we're going to make this work. Oh my goodness. Okay, no, that doesn't work. Okay, so insert a text box. You may have to do 2 slides if the references are too many. If you can fit it on 1 slide, awesome. But as you can see, it is too long. So what I'm going to do is I am going to copy this up to this point, delete it, and then we're going to add another slide. And insert, nope, insert text box. And so then we'll need to move this up. And then boom, you have your, I would also put them down here in the notes. So now you have references at the very end of your paper. But just remember, everything goes in the notes. Your references on this page should go down here, as well as the references down here should be here as well. And just remember that anything that is said in this text, this audio should be written out down here. I can show you how to do some other cool stuff with taking AI and making the AI narrate everything for you later on. But for now, this is all we're going to do. and I can go into more detail on how to record some interesting stuff with some of the resources that I've shown you, like Speechify, to narrate your entire paper for you. That is all I have for you today. I hope that this was informative and that this was something that was you found beneficial. Just to reiterate, last week we went through inserting a little something something and then doing transitions so that things would slide across the page. You can still do that. It's kind of nice when you add transitions, like, you can make this uh, a nice little transition if you want this to morph. So we can go from here back to the slideshow, play from current slide, click on it, and then this slides in and does that. So all the things that I've shown you, you can play with, and you will be able to create your own slide. I hope this has been beneficial and that you are able to create wonderful presentations, get amazing grades, and hopefully this has made a difference in your knowledge of using the PowerPoint presentation and how to correctly utilize it when creating an assignment to turn in. All right. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one.